What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. So today the team and I traded REXX and ATEC are the ones that I actively traded today. So again, like we usually do, started off the morning right around 7:03 Mountain Standard Time. So market opened 7:30 Mountain Standard Time. So we're just taking a look at the pre-market movers. Today, if you guys didn't see, BAS had about a 12,000% gain. So kind of gave out like a little bit of a reason why. And then a lot of people, suggested or most likely thought that, it was going to get shorted, which, eventually it did. So it was really, really cool, just being able to talk to everyone in the very morning or early in the morning. Did a little bit of the early top losers and stuff like that for the morning. And then we talked about REXX. Since we talked about REXX yesterday, and it was for our Sunday stock talk, but because the market was closed yesterday, I just did it yesterday just because also on Sunday it was Christmas. So we talked about how REXX, had a really strong safety right around that 47 cent mark. So with that, it did go below 46, and then once it, popped above 46, it held pretty well. So with that, on our Sunday stock talk, it was at I believe 47.49, and we pretty much talked that, we're gonna see if we can have an upward just see upward momentum and then buy in with that. So early this morning, you saw it bounce a lot from the low 47.01s to high 47s, and it kept bouncing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I knew it was gonna break on either side of it. So with that, I bought in at 47.01. So again, setting myself up for success. Was up 1 cent, automatically, and I set a stop loss at 46.98. So with that, I knew if it was gonna go down a cent, instead of losing a whole cent, I would lose 0.2 of a cent, and with that, I lose roughly about $10 with the kind of with the account that I'm using. But luckily, again, just setting yourself up for success and understanding that we bought in at a good price point. It broke 48, and then right when it broke 48, it broke 48.5, broke 49. Broke 49.5, and I actually sold, since these candlesticks are each 10 minutes, I sold 5 minutes, if that, after it broke 48, and with that, it was at 49, and it recently just broke 48.5. So with that, I knew there was a strong resistance based on yesterday's trades. Was a strong resistance at 49. I didn't want to risk it, so I ended up selling at 48.99. So 1/10 of a cent less than 49. Overall, locked in my profit. It was 106, and I did that within 30 minutes of trading. So overall, pretty successful morning when it came to trading these REXX itself. They ended up going a little bit higher, about a cent more. And then we talked about that very strong resistance that you guys could kind of see right here at 50 cents. So what that means is the stock struggles to go above 50 cents. And when it does go above it, most likely we will see a high rise in volume. But when I saw this, I believe I sent out a picture. There was way too many sellers at 49, and I was telling everyone that it was in the group. I suggested to most likely try to get rid of all the shares that you have on REXX, because it's most likely going to continue to drop. And with that, it did just that, and then I let the team know, just setting your alerts. So I had my alerts for REXX if it did go above 50, because I was going to buy it back in and ride it to 54, as that's the next resistance, but never did. Came back down, and then with that, I was going to see if it broke below 48, so I can try to get in again at 47 or 46, but stayed pretty consistent above 48 cents. Overall, good trade on REXX, $106 profit, so nothing crazy, but it was pretty good for the first 30 minutes. And then we moved on to ATEC. So ATEC is one that I gave a little shout out to. So I got my alert, and let's see if I can find exactly where it is that I first talked about it. Okay, ATEC pretty much put a safety at 325 based on the analysis that I did on the TDM Air trade. And I saw that most of the orders, all the sellers were at 340, and all the buyers were at 325. So there's a big gap. So I wasn't in any rush to buy in, but pretty much what I did is I set a limit order to buy at 325. And then with that, once I got filled, it popped back up to 330, and then all of a sudden it dropped back down to 312. So with that, I tried to even out some of my shares, and I bought in at 312 again and got filled. My average was around 315 to 316 for ATEC overall, since I bought a little bit heavier when it came to the 312 range, because I didn't get fully filled at 325. So with that, I canceled that remaining order and purchased with the rest of my account at 312. Average was around 315 to 316. Picked up. Knew that there was a resistance based on the history at 340. So what that is, it struggles to go above 340. So simply what I did is, I set a limit order at $3, and actually there's a lot of sellers. I think there was a wall of sellers. Let me go ahead and walk you guys through exactly what I did. So kind of talked about the reason, what I was looking for when it came to ATEC, and then a couple trades. We were just talking back and forth, and then pretty much sent out this little thing about all the sellers. There's a bunch of sellers at 39. So what that is, I knew I wasn't going to get filled first at 39. So I set an order out at 338.99. And with that, I got filled right away, almost instantaneously. And then pretty much, closed my day with the $296 profit. It was $190 on ATEC. So, solid profit just with simple trades. Again, not exactly knowing everything about the company since we're day traders. It's always good to know at least kind of the basics of the company and what it kind of stands for and how it stands in the overall market. But we knew that we were setting ourselves up for success in a sense. We had our losses to cut short, as well as, we were buying at a pretty low range where we saw at least that 10% potential. So that's what kind of led us to, being able to buy at such a low price and sell at a resistance that's reasonable according to the trends of the graph. So again, pretty much we look at the trends, we look at where it struggles to go above, and then we buy and we tend to sell a little bit below that just to ensure that we get filled. So make sure you don't get greedy when it comes to you being in the green, and that could possibly cause you your trade. So with that is bought in again 312, evened out the shares, and then knew that there was a strong resistance around 340 to 345. So with that is I ended up just selling wherever the price was at. I looked at what people were selling, and I just sold 1/10 of a cent less than they did, and that's kind of what led to my success on trading today. I do want to talk about a little bit about 4 other more stocks, not that we traded today, but that I had my eyes on. So NVAX, this is a 10-day analysis through the Fidelity Brokerage Company, and pretty much what I'm looking for on this one is when I traded it, I bought in at 125. Ended up selling, I believe, at 135 when it came to NVAX, but it ended up hitting highs of 146. So definitely has that 10% potential. Looks like it bounces pretty well at 132, so I'm going to be waiting for that bounce. If anything, I can get in at 132 and set my stop loss at, like 131.99, just to ensure that I minimize my loss and kind of set myself up for success when it comes to, this trend of, buying in at 132 and then, hitting, in a sense, 137, come back down, or hitting 140. 140 would be the overall goal, but again, I'm going to look a little bit more into it and kind of see what led to this bounce and kind of go based on that. But again, it looks like it's at a pretty good price point. Just make sure you set your alerts and you do your own analysis before buying in. DRYS is also another one. The reason I'm bringing this one up is although it does have a low around 350, and this is one we shut it down and we traded a couple days ago, but it looks like it's holding, kind of plateauing at $4. It did go sub $4 today, but it picked right back up, and it's holding pretty well. So hopefully we can get in, once it breaks above 420. And the reason I say that is because once it breaks around 420 to 425, it tends to have a pretty good volume spike, and with that, since it is a higher price stock, you want to make sure that you can lock in that 10% profit. So with that is you need about 40 cents to lock in profit. Therefore, the ride from $4 to 410 might not be worth it according to the risk of what it does have to go back down. Just make sure you always set your stop loss to minimize your losses, and trade according to the trend. So make sure you do your own research and then set your alerts on DRYS as well. DGAS is one that we talked about on our Sunday stock deck. Did not do, it did what we said it could have done, but wasn't necessarily in our favor. None of us, or at least I didn't trade. I think there actually were a couple traders that bought in and stop lossed out, but pretty much pre-market, hit lows, was trading at 320, opened at $3 and then picked up all the way, once the market opened, all the way to 320. So since I have Robinhood Gold, I could actually buy in, pre-market. I was thinking about it, but just, since it already bounced once, wasn't too sure if it was going to bounce again. And it's a lot harder to sell on, pre-market or after-market hours because the volume's so much lower. So it didn't feel too comfortable on buying in since my stop loss potentially could have not been filled since, the market wasn't fully open. But ended up doing just that, catching the safety right around that $3 mark, bounce, hitting that resistance at 320. And I believe Matthew did a beautiful job on, letting us know that there's a resistance at 320. And the reason we knew that is because, old safeties like this, so it struggled to go below 320, become new resistance levels. So what it struggles to go below before tends to be a new resistance, as in it struggles to go above that certain price point. So it tends to hit 320 and then come back down. Now it's struggling to go above 310. So we just have to wait and see. So set your alerts when DGAS goes above 310, or if it goes sub $3, and it can give you a better understanding on what's to come with DGAS itself. Gale is going to be the last one. So overall, this thing has a pretty strong safety at 188, 187. Right now, it's holding pretty well at 194. Again, so 194, nearly a $2 stock, has to see a 20% gain to see that 10%, or 20-cent gain to see that 10% return. So pretty much, make sure that you buy in at a good point and don't just, try to get in and out. But again, do what you think is right. I'd feel more comfortable buying in at these lower price points around 190 to 188, just because my opportunity, for success is a lot higher, since it tends to, hit these points a lot less, but when it does hit them, it tends to pick up almost right away. So we want to make sure we can minimize the times that we hold a penny or a stock itself. This one's a little bit above, a dollar, which wouldn't necessarily label it as a penny stock, but Gale was one that had a reverse stock split. So in a sense, this one is a true penny stock. So just kind of keep that in mind. Then again, this is the group that we were kind of just talking back and forth with one another. A lot of good questions, kind of just getting to know one another as well, and kind of just sharing our backgrounds. So super fun day. A lot of activity within our group, and definitely a successful day when it came to trading. Exceeded my goal. So I usually shoot for $200 of profit. Today I hit 296. So nearly above 50% what my essential goal was, but kind of waiting for tomorrow and seeing what to trade. So I just trade according to my alerts. If you guys haven't done so already, feel free to click the subscribe button. We upload weekly videos or daily videos on investing and stock recaps, as well as we're really into cars. I have GTR and then a couple other cars that I tend to drive, and something that I'm kind of into. So if you guys are into cars, did a little video on giving back to the homeless, with a 1,000 horsepower GTR, and we do as many fun things as we can, and we have different collaborations with different different YouTubers. So there's a lot to come for our channel altogether. And if you guys haven't done so already, the link's going to be provided for you down below, where you can join TechBud Solutions for free. So feel free to click on the link, and that link will guide you to this Facebook group. And then with that, feel free to email me, which is also provided down below. And with that, I can provide you with the welcome document that will allow you to join this group, so you can stay up to date on what's currently trending when it comes to our penny stocks, as well as what to look out for. So hopefully you guys found this video somewhat helpful, and give it a thumbs up if you did. And if there's anything that you could recommend so I can kind of improve my videos, please feel free to do so. I'm always open to making the content that I produce so much better, especially when it comes to a specific individual. So thank you guys again so much for watching. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, my email is going to be provided for you down below, as well as the links to all the social medias that we have.